My husband's affair partner. Called me. I said, keep him, and upgraded to someone who actually tries. My phone is lighting up like a strobe under the white tablecloth, while my husband is 10 feet away, shaking hands and smiling for photos like nothing on earth is wrong. The screen keeps flashing. Unknown number. Again, again, again. Then a flood of texts crashes in behind it. Mila, are you seeing this? Jason, call me now. Group chat. Family dinner. 37 new messages. I can feel my pulse in my fingertips as I stare at the call screen and watch the little voicemail preview start to form. Hi. I don't know how to say this. The room around me is loud, glasses clinking, people laughing, some corporate MC talking into a mic. But my body is suddenly all quiet, like it's bracing for impact. I answer. I don't even think. I just hit the green button because I'm tired of the guessing and my chest is too tight to breathe. A woman's voice comes through, bright and shaky at the same time. Hi, are you his wife? She asks. And she says wife, like it's a word she's been practicing. My mouth goes dry. I look up and there he is, my husband, still smiling, still nodding, still being the guy everyone likes. Yeah, I say, and my voice doesn't sound like mine. The woman exhales hard like she's been holding her breath for days. Okay, I'm not trying to be crazy. She starts too fast. But he told me you were separated and She pauses, and then the sentence drops like a stone. He's in my car right now, outside, and he's saying you might call me to cause drama. So I'm calling you first. I'm calling you to be respectful. Respectful. I almost choke. My hand shakes so badly I nearly drop the phone. I stand up so fast my chair scrapes. Loud, and people turn their heads. My husband glances over. Just a quick look. Sees my face. And the smile on him flickers for half a second before he forces it back on. He points at me like 1 sec. Like I'm an email he'll deal with after dessert. The woman on the phone keeps talking. Words tumbling out like she's afraid I'll hang up. I didn't know, she says. He said you were, okay with it. He said you were intense and you'd blow up, but you'd get over it. He told me not to answer if you called because you'd say anything. She laughs nervously, like she can soften what she's saying. I'm sorry. He's been staying with me when he says he's on late shifts, and I take 2 steps away from the table because my legs feel like they don't belong to me. I can hear myself breathing into the phone, short and sharp. The woman says her name, Tessa, and it's like she's handing me a weapon, expecting me to use it on her. Instead, I look across the room at my husband, at his suit, at the wedding band he still wears like a prop, and something inside me goes very still. Tessa, I say, and my voice is flat in a way that surprises me. Keep him. There's a silence on the line, like she didn't understand the words. What? She whispers. Keep him, I repeat, still staring at him. He's starting to move now, eyes narrowed, smile gone. If he's in your car, great. Don't bring him back. Don't drop him off. Don't do me any favors. Just keep him. My throat burns, but I don't cry. Not here. Not in front of all these people. Tessa makes a small sound, half shock, half relief, and then she blurts, Wait, are you serious? I watch my husband weaving between tables toward me, like he can still fix this with a quiet voice, and a hand on my back. I'm serious, I say. You just upgraded from secret to full-time. Congratulations. My phone explodes the second I hang up. My best friend Mila sends a screenshot before I can even process what I just did. It's a photo of my husband, My husband. At a bar. Arm around a woman with long, dark hair. Time-stamped from a boys' night. He swore was just work drinks. The caption in our friend group chat is brutal. Who is this? My cousin posts in the family chat. Why is everyone asking me if your husband is cheating? His sister calls twice in a row. My mother-in-law's name flashes next. My husband reaches me, grabs my wrist lightly, like he's trying to look caring, and hisses through his teeth. What are you doing? Like I'm the one embarrassing him. I pull my wrist back so fast he actually blinks. Your girlfriend called me, I say, loud enough that the people closest to us stop talking. His face drains so quickly, it's almost impressive. For a second, he just stares, calculating. Who heard? What did they hear? How do I spin this? Then he goes for the classic. She's not my girlfriend, he says immediately. She's confused. He lowers his voice, stepping closer like intimacy can erase a lie. Babe, please, not here. Not here, I repeat, and I feel something hot crawl up my neck. Where would you like it? In our kitchen? In our bed? In the car like you're in hers right now? His jaw tightens. His eyes flick to my phone. He reaches like he's going to take it, and that's the moment my body decides for me. I step back. Don't, I say. One word. His hand freezes midair. People are staring now. Not everyone, but enough. Enough that I can feel the attention like sunlight on skin. My phone buzzes again, and the lock screen shows the family group chat absolutely melting down. Is this true? Call me now. You're ruining the family. Then a message pops up from a number I don't have saved, but I know exactly who it is from the tone. Please, don't do this publicly. Think of his career. His mother. Of course. Think of his career. Not my life. Not my dignity. His career. I walk out of the room without looking back. He follows me, whispering, wait, 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 like he's chasing a dropped wallet. Not a marriage. Outside in the hallway it's colder, quieter, and the second the door closes behind us, his voice changes. Why would you answer her? He snaps. What did you say to her? I said keep you, I say, and it comes out sharp. Because apparently, you're a shared resource. He stares at me, and his face does that thing where it tries to be sad. Babe, he says softer. This is a misunderstanding. My phone pings again. Another screenshot. This time from a number in his contacts I've never seen. It's a text from him to a friend, dated months ago, and Mila has circled it in bright red like evidence. If she ever finds out, she won't leave. She likes the lifestyle too much. Under that, his friend replied, Lol, you're evil. And my husband reacted with a laughing emoji. I don't even feel like I'm in my body. I feel like I'm watching myself from above as I turn my screen toward him and say, Is that the misunderstanding? His eyes widen, just a fraction. He opens his mouth, then closes it. He tries again. Who sent you that? That's private. Private. Like cheating is private property. I do one more bold thing before my fear can talk me out of it. I open my social media, the private story where it's just close friends and family, and I post a single photo. Our wedding rings on the table next to my drink ticket, with one sentence. If you're hearing rumors, yes, I'm safe. Please don't call him for me. Then I turn my phone to airplane mode. The silence after is almost violent. My husband looks at my hand like he expects the ring to still be there. It isn't. I slid it off without even realizing. To understand why this feels unreal, you need to know what my husband was saying about me before today, and how long he's been practicing the version of me he thought I'd stay stuck in. We've been married 6 years, together for 9. If you looked at us from the outside, we were that couple people used as a reference point. Like you and him, my friends would say when they talked about stability. We had the apartment first, then the little townhouse. We had shared calendars and Sunday grocery runs, and the boring kind of intimacy that feels safe, until it doesn't. He was charming in public and tired in private. He knew how to look like a good man without doing the hard parts of being one. It started small, in the way all slow disasters start. He got weird about his phone, not obvious at first, just turning it face down, just taking it into the shower, just snapping, "Can I have one thing that's mine?" if I asked who was texting. He started saying work, like it was a magic word that erased questions. Late shift, client dinner, emergency meeting. I didn't want to be the paranoid wife. I didn't want to be, the stereotype. So I swallowed my gut and told myself I was being dramatic. I was also busy. I was working full-time, trying to finish a qualification on the side, keeping the house from falling into chaos because he didn't notice mess. He'd come home, step over shoes on the floor, and say, "Wow, you've been home all day?" Even when I wasn't. If I snapped back, he'd do that calm voice that made me sound unhinged. "Why are you yelling?" he'd ask, as if I didn't just speak at a normal volume. He trained me to second-guess my own tone. Family dinners were a whole other layer. His mother never outright hated me, but she had this way of acting like I was temporary. "You're lucky he chose you," she'd say, smiling. Or, "He's a good man. Don't drive him away." Like keeping him faithful was my job. Like if he wandered, it would be because I didn't hold the leash tight enough. The first time I caught something that didn't make sense, it was a receipt. A hotel receipt, folded in his jacket pocket like he forgot it existed. He told me it was a work conference. I asked where. He named a suburb. The hotel was in a different suburb. I said, "This doesn't match." He sighed like I was exhausting and said, "Do you want to see my calendar? Do you want to make a spreadsheet?" That was his favorite move. Make my questions sound stupid. I dropped it because I didn't want to be a detective in my own marriage. But my body didn't drop it. My body started noticing everything. His cologne stronger than usual. The way he'd walk in and head straight to the laundry, like he couldn't wait to get rid of his clothes. The way he'd shower before kissing me hello. The way he'd get irritated if I tried to cuddle on the couch. "Can I breathe?" he'd mutter, like affection was suffocation. I tried to talk to him. Like, actually talk. "I miss you," I said one night, sitting at the edge of our bed while he scrolled. He didn't even look up. "We see each other every day," he said. "You're never satisfied." That sentence stuck to me. "You're never satisfied." It made me shrink. It made me think maybe I was asking for too much. Maybe wanting your husband to look at you wasn't a basic thing. Maybe I was needy. Maybe I was the problem. Then the gaslighting got bolder. If he forgot something, it was because you didn't remind me. If I got upset, it was because you're insecure. If I asked who he was texting, it was because you don't trust anyone. He'd say it with this fake concern, like he was worried about my mental health. "Do you think you should talk to someone?" he asked once, after I said his behavior felt off. I remember staring at him like, "Are you serious?" And he nodded, solemn, like he was offering help, not deflecting. The sick part is, I did talk to someone. I booked a therapist. I sat in a beige room and said, I feel crazy. And the therapist said, when did you start feeling crazy? And I started crying because I didn't even know how to answer that. I was so busy trying to be reasonable that I stopped trusting myself. I didn't find out through some brilliant investigation. I found out because cheaters get sloppy, and because the women they lie to eventually realize they're being lied to too. Tessa wasn't the first. She was just the first who called me. A week before the gala, I'd woken up at 2 a.m. and he wasn't in bed. I found him in the living room with his laptop open, texting. He jerked like I caught him stealing. "What are you doing?" I asked, voice thick with sleep. He slammed the laptop shut and said, "Work." At 2 a.m., he said it like he expected me to accept it because work had always worked. That morning, I checked our bank statement because we'd been trying to budget. Trying, meaning me trying. There were charges I didn't recognize. A restaurant we'd never been to. A rideshare to an address across town. Another hotel charge, this time not even hidden well. I felt my hands go cold on the keyboard. I didn't scream. I didn't confront him in a dramatic hallway scene. I took screenshots. I saved PDFs. I opened a new email folder and titled it something bland, like I was filing taxes. Receipts. I called Mila. Mila came over with coffee, and that look that says she already knows. I showed her the charges. She didn't say, "Maybe it's nothing." She said, "Okay, what do you want to do?" Like she believed me. Like I wasn't crazy. I decided I'd confront him after the gala. Stupid, right? But I wanted proof, and I wanted a plan. We had shared accounts, shared bills, a mortgage. I didn't want to blow up my life with no leverage. I called a lawyer quietly. I opened a new bank account in my name. I moved my paycheck. I took photos of important documents. I didn't do it because I was calculating. I did it because I'd watched too many women get blindsided and then blamed for not being prepared. Then the universe decided. I didn't get to wait. Tessa called me in the middle of the gala, like she was popping a balloon in a crowded room. After I walked out and posted that one sentence, the fallout was instant. Friends texting. His coworkers messaging me like they'd just discovered I'm a person. His mother calling like she was trying to dial the truth back into place. And my husband started begging, then threatening, then begging again in the span of 20 minutes. At first, he tried soft. "Babe, please," he said, following me into the parking lot. "Let's go home and talk." Then he tried anger when soft didn't work. "You're humiliating me," he snapped. "Do you know how this looks?" I stared at him. "You mean like a man who cheated?" I asked. "Yeah, it looks like that." He flinched like the word hurt. "I didn't cheat," he said. Reflexive, even though the evidence was literally calling my phone. It's complicated. Complicated. That word is always the cheater's blanket. I said, "Your complication has a name. She called me. She's outside waiting with you in her car. That's not complicated. That's a choice." He went pale. "She called you?" he whispered, like he couldn't believe she betrayed him, like I was the side character in his heartbreak. I didn't go home with him. I went to Mila's. I sat on her couch and stared at my hands like they belonged to a stranger. I didn't sleep. My phone stayed on airplane mode until morning because I couldn't handle the noise. When I turned it back on, there were 47 missed calls and a text from his mother that made my blood boil. "You can be angry, but don't throw away your marriage over a mistake." A mistake. Like he tripped and fell into someone's bed by accident. The next week was paperwork and nausea, and those small humiliations you don't see in movies. Calling the bank, changing passwords, finding his spare key, telling our mortgage broker I'm handling payments, listening to him cry in the hallway outside the bedroom door like grief gives him access. He tried love bombing, flowers, long texts. "We can fix this. You're my best friend." It meant nothing. Then, when I didn't respond, he flipped to cruelty. "You're cold. You're heartless. No one will put up with you," like he was trying to scare me back into the role he'd planned for me. The worst moment wasn't even the cheating. The worst moment was finding the group chat with his friends on his old tablet, the one he left linked to our Wi-Fi because he never thought I'd look. It wasn't just jokes. It was strategy. It was him narrating my reactions like I was predictable. "She's suspicious again. Just tell her work. She'll calm down." The message Mila sent me, the one about she won't leave, was real. And there was more. Him calling me high maintenance. Him complaining that I expect effort. One of his friends typed, "Why not just divorce?" And my husband replied, "Too expensive. Easier to manage her." Manage. Me. When I told him I'd spoken to a lawyer, he finally looked scared. Not sad. Scared. He asked, "Are you really doing this?" Like he couldn't believe consequences were a thing that could touch him. I said, "Yes." He said, "Over her?" And I said, "Over you." Tessa texted me once after the gala. One message. "I didn't know. I'm sorry." I stared at it for a long time, and then I typed the truth. "You weren't the problem, but you can still keep him." She never replied. I don't know if she kept him. I don't care. That's the first real upgrade. How fast my brain stops orbiting him once I decide I'm done. The second upgrade came later, quieter, and I didn't even realize it was happening at first. I joined a small gym class because I needed somewhere my body could go without thinking. Same time every week. Same faces. No pity. Just sweat and dumb jokes. There was a guy there named Noah, who always showed up 5 minutes early and wiped down his mat like it mattered. He wasn't loud. He wasn't trying to be charming. He just tried. In small ways that were almost embarrassing how much they stood out after years, with someone who treated effort like an insult. The first time he spoke to me, it was nothing. He just said, "Hey, you dropped this," and handed me my water bottle like I was a person worth noticing. The second time, he said, "You've got good form," and then he shut up. No weird flirting. No lecture. Later, when I mentioned offhand that I was dealing with a breakup, he didn't ask for details like entertainment. He just said, "That sucks," and meant it. He remembered my name the first time I said it. He used it like it mattered. I didn't jump into a relationship. I wasn't trying to replace my husband like swapping phones. I was trying to rebuild my nervous system. I went to therapy. I learned how to sleep without bracing for someone else's mood. I learned how to eat without my stomach turning. I learned the difference between peace and numbness. My husband tried to come back around month 3. Of course he did. He showed up with that wounded face and said, "I miss you." He said, "We built a life." He said, "She's not you." Like I'd be flattered. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just stood in the doorway of the townhouse that was now legally mine because I refinanced without him, and I watched him realize he couldn't charm his way through a locked door. "Please," he said, voice cracking. "Just talk to me." I looked at him and felt nothing that could be manipulated. "You can email," I said, "through my lawyer." He blinked, confused. "You're really doing it like this?" "Yes," I said, Because when I talked to you like a person, you managed me." He flinched at the word. "I didn't mean—" "I know," I cut in. "That's the problem. You didn't mean any of it. You just did it." He tried one last thing. Anger. Because that's always the last card. "You think you're going to find better?" he snapped. "You think you're some prize?" I didn't even smile. "No," I said. "I think I'm done being your project." Then I closed the door. A week later, Noah invited me to coffee after class. Not dramatic. Not a grand gesture. He just said, "If you ever want to grab a coffee, no pressure." When I hesitated, he didn't push. He said, "All good," and meant it. The bar is so low it's in hell, but I swear my eyes burned anyway. We went for coffee the next Saturday. He showed up on time. He asked questions and listened to the answers, like he wasn't waiting for his turn to talk. When I said I was still untangling a lot, he said, "Take your time." When I told him I might not be ready, he said, "I'm not in a rush to win you. I just like you." No speeches. No, "I'll treat you better than he did." Just consistent effort. Like trying isn't an act you put on when someone threatens to leave. The gut punch twist hit the day my divorce papers were finalized. I'm sitting in my car outside the courthouse, hands shaking, staring at the email from my lawyer that says it's done. My phone rings. Unknown number. For a second, my stomach flips like it's him again. I answer anyway. It's Tessa. Her voice is small now, not bright, not bold. "Hi," she says. I just wanted to tell you. He told me he was going to leave you. He told me you were horrible. And then when you actually left him, he moved in with me and—" She swallows. "And he's doing it to me now. He's calling me crazy. He's telling people I'm obsessive. He's saying I'm ruining his life. I get it now." I stare straight ahead, watching people walk past with their own lives. I think about the night at the gala, about her voice trying to sound respectful while stepping into my marriage like it was already vacant. I think about how he used the same script on both of us. "I'm sorry," she whispers. "I didn't know who else to call." My fingers tighten on the steering wheel. I could say a lot. I could drag her. I could comfort her. I could lecture. Instead, I say the only honest thing I've got left. "Tessa," I say quiet. I meant it when I said keep him, because he belongs to whoever is willing to carry him. I'm not. She starts crying. "So what do I do?" she asks, voice breaking. I exhale once, slow. "The same thing I did," I say. "You stop negotiating with someone who only understands consequences." I hang up gently, not cruel, just finished. Then my phone rings again immediately. This time it's him. His name flashes across the screen like a dare. My heart doesn't race. My hands don't shake. I just watch it buzz, buzzing itself stupid, trying to claw its way back into my life. I decline the call. One tap. Silence. Then I open my messages and send one final text to the only thread that still matters. The one with my lawyer copied in because I promised myself I'd never do this alone again. Do not contact me directly. Any further communication goes through counsel. I put the phone face down. I step out of the car. The air feels cold and clean, like the world doesn't care about my pain, which is weirdly comforting. Across the street, Noah is waiting by a cafe window, hands in his pockets, not waving like a show. Just there, steady, present, trying. He sees me and his face softens. He doesn't ask for details. He doesn't demand a performance. He just opens the door when I reach it. And the upgrade isn't that I got a new man. The upgrade is that I finally recognize effort as the bare minimum, not a miracle. The upgrade is that when the wrong person calls, I don't pick up anymore.